Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
This week's top headlines from American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri include relief efforts from the devastating effects of the recent blizzard.
It's difficult to avoid news of the government shutdown, but what are the effects on cattlemen?
Record premiums show quality is no fad, and how Angus cattlemen and others are building a stronger future for the beef cattle business.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. South Dakota and portions of Wyoming and Montana were hit earlier this month with what's being called the most devastating blizzard in recent history. The storm resulted in the reported death of an estimated 10 to 20,000 head of cattle. South Dakota was especially affected, where officials are still assessing the final toll of the damage. The South Dakota Stock Growers Association, Cattlemen's Association, and the Sheep Growers Association have established the South Dakota Rancher Relief Fund. The fund was established to directly benefit livestock producers affected by the blizzard.
We were looking for an immediate way to offer a place for folks who wanted to help to be able to contribute financially. We're really trying to encourage folks to consider financial donations at this point. Well, the outpouring of support from the cattle community at large has been great, and we've had lots of folks who are wanting to donate animals. We're really several months away, I think, from having the resources on the ground to be able to take delivery of those animals. This is really going to be a long road to recovery for the producers that were in the impacted area of our state. We're still assessing losses. The next monumental task is going to be carcass disposal and trying to contend with that as winter is coming. Beyond that, trying to help these guys determine what their financial hurdles are going to be and how we can help them get back on their feet. I've heard anecdotally of individuals who have lost upwards of 90% of their herds, and so that's going to be not just a financial drain, but an emotional one as well.
Visit giveblackhills.org and search Rancher Relief Fund or contact the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association to donate. Donors can also send their contributions to Rancher Relief Fund, P.O. Box 231, Rapid City, South Dakota 57709.
The sting of the recent blizzard has some producers looking toward disaster assistance, or the lack thereof given the delayed Farm Bill. Christina Butts, Executive Director of Government Affairs for the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, says the Farm Bill is within reach, but it will take extra effort to move it across the finish line. NCBA shares how turmoil in Washington is affecting America's cattlemen.
In the 2008 Farm Bill, even though that was a 5-year Farm Bill, the disaster programs were only authorized for 4 of those 5 years. So not only those producers that are right now trying to figure out what to do in terms of the blizzard situation that they were faced with, but are producers that have been prolonged with a long drought for the last 3 to 4 years, producers that have had wildfires, floods, all these natural disasters that would be able to provide a safety net for them if we had a Farm Bill. This process of trying to get a 2012 or 2013 Farm Bill done has been a bit of a bumpy road all the way, and I think down from our grassroots all the way to members of Congress. So we really are going to need some assistance in getting it across the finish line. The goal is in sight. We are closer now than we've ever been before. We're optimistic that we will get a Farm Bill done before the end of this year. Most of us are new to the shutdown experience here in D.C., but the one great thing is that we do have inspectors in our plants, which mean that we're able to process our cattle into beef products, and that has not been halted.
The U.S. House of Representatives announced its conferees for Farm Bill discussion with the U.S. Senate October 11th, setting the stage for potential progress in negotiations. We'll report more details as they become available.
Studies show consumers have relatively little knowledge of where their food comes from. That's no secret. It's also why agriculture proponents suggest ranchers do a better job of telling their story. Agriculture advocate and Angus rancher Debbie Lyons-Blythe explains what producers can do to close that gap.
It's really important that the farmers and ranchers take the time to connect with consumers. They're our end product consumers, and we really in the past haven't taken any time to connect with them. So I think that we need to find new ways to try to reach out and connect with people. One of the most easy ways, in my opinion, is through social media, because those people that don't have the opportunity to actually set foot on a farm or ranch can actually get a virtual tour of a farm or ranch. But I also don't want to make it sound like social media is the only way to connect, because advocating can happen day to day. face-to-face, in a grocery store, on a train, you know, in the subway, whatever. You can connect day to day, no matter where you are. But I think that it's really important that we kind of pay attention to what people want, and frankly, they want to know where their food comes from. They're asking those questions.
Searching for a better way to feed cattle, JBS Five Rivers renovated its entire Cooner feedlot in 2010, rebuilding the 100,000 head feed yard into one of the industry's most environmentally and employee-friendly cattle feedlots in the country. It's also one of the most progressive. In fact, Certified Angus Beef named the Colorado yard its Progressive Feedlot of the Year for its work on a heifer development project that identified the most valuable, most efficient animals.
We have a beautiful facility, and all the folks that work there care about the cattle and like their jobs, and we're glad to show people that. So, and then in addition to that, we worked really hard on a heifer project for the last year, going on a year now. Last fall, we were coming into a time where we knew that feeder cattle were going to be difficult to find, and so we went out and we bought 4,000 heifer calves from direct from ranches all over really the western United States. We took those, I think it was 4,300 heifers, and we gene max tested them all. From there we selected the top 50%. Any heifer that scored above a 50 on the gene max made it into the first cut of the program. And from there we pared it down to about 1,500 head of heifers. So we synchronized those heifers, bred them, turned them out for the summer in Steamboat, Colorado. We'll be gathering those heifers up in October. What this has done for us is we had the facilities and the labor available to try this process, work out a lot of kinks, and we feel like we've modeled something that people can use in the future now to improve the genetics in the beef industry.
We now go to Jenna McCrell with a look at some of the week's other headlines you may have missed.
Thanks, Bob. Drover's Cattle Network reports that scientists have identified the genetic basis for at least one form of pesticide resistance in a common tick that affects cattle. The pest is exposed to about 80% of cattle around the world, mostly in the tropics and subtropics. The global cost of tick-borne diseases and control measures exceeds an estimated $6 billion annually. University researchers from across the country are collaborating to analyze genotype data in hopes of breeding cattle less susceptible to bovine respiratory disease. The Bovine Veterinarian magazine reports that in the remaining 2 years of the project, scientists will build a database that helps producers determine which cattle might have more disease resistance. And finally, U.S. Representative Scott Tipton from Colorado recently introduced legislation that would protect privately held water rights from federal takings. The Water Rights Protection Act was developed to ensure those who rely on privately held water rights, including farmers and ranchers, are protected from federal agencies that may seek to confiscate water rights. And that's just a few of the week's quick headlines. I'm Jenna McCrell.
When the Angus Report returns, quality cattle bring record premiums. We talked to Brian Bertelson of U.S. Premium Beef.
And a young Indiana producer talks about her experience at one of the industry's most extensive leadership conferences.
Visit Angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting BQA.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit BQA.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
We stand for what we believe in. We believe in you. It's more than a job. It's your way of life. Who you are, where you live, and what you do. The way you treat your cattle, your family, your employees, and your neighbors. The water you drink, the air you breathe, and the ground you walk on. What you do every day gives families something to gather around every night. It's about doing what's right for your cattle, your land, your community, and your business. It's your livelihood, and it means as much to us as it does to you. We all believe in responsible beef. Let's stand together at responsiblebeef.com.
Schiefelbein Farms is all about family. Schiefelbein Farms is one of the largest registered Angus herds with more than 700 cows. Schiefelbein Farms is customer service. Our customer buyback program ensures top dollar for our customers' calves and ensures the use of high-quality Schiefelbein bulls. Schiefelbein Farms, changing the way seed stock business gets done. Learn more at www.schiefelbeinfarms.com.
What's one more calf worth? You make a big-time investment in genetic improvement, so why not get more calves? It starts with VitaFerm Conceptate with the AmaFerm Advantage. For just 2 to 4 cents more a day, feeding VitaFerm Conceptate before breeding season gives your cows the nutrition they need for improved conception rates. Plus, AmaFerm enhances digestion of feed, improving body condition, a critical component to fertility. So with cattle prices as high as they've ever been, what's one more calf worth? A lot. VitaFerm Conceptate. This stuff is good. Learn more at VitaFerm.com.
Join 44 Farms October 26th for our annual fall sale in Cameron, Texas. The sale begins at noon and features 225 balanced trait bulls, 10 featured females including the #1 proven ribeye female in the breed, 50 open fall yearling heifers from the heart of the 44 Farms replacement herd, and 40 fall calving cows, plus an outstanding set of bulls and females bred by the new 44 herd sire Capitalist. Call or email for more details or watch for the fall sale book in the October Angus Journal. Join us at the farm on October 26th in Cameron, Texas. 44 Farms, your trusted source for balanced Angus genetics.